Blessed are they who give without expecting even thanks in return, for they shall be abundantly rewarded. Blessed are they who translate every good thing that they know into action, for even higher truths shall be revealed unto them. Blessed are they who love and trust their fellow beings, for they shall reach the good in people and receive a loving response. Blessed are they who have seen reality, for they know that not the garment of clay, but that which activated the garment of clay is real and indestructible. Blessed are they who, after dedicating their lives and thereby receiving a blessing, have the courage and faith to surmount the difficulties of the path ahead, for they shall receive a second blessing. Blessed are they who advance towards the spiritual path without the selfish motive of seeking inner peace, for they shall find it. In this world you are given as you give, and you are forgiven as you forgive. While you go your way through each lovely day, you create your future as you live.
Hello. I'm going to start by saying I'm really nervous being up here, but I'm also feeling really blessed to have an opportunity to share with you something that has enriched my life and my experience and brought balance and harmony into my relationships. And that is the great art of yoga and the esoteric concepts of Tao, or the Way. If you look over in this corner somewhere, you will see we have a yin-yang flag as well. So both of these are not religions. They are mystic philosophies. So one can be of any denomination or no denomination and still bring these concepts into your life. So my very first experience, let's see if this is going to work. Yes, it is. So my very first experience with yoga happened about 22 years ago in 1996 when I was 16 years old, and I went to the Hare Krishna temple down in Spanish Fork. I don't know if any of you have checked out the Color Festival down there, but it's quite epic, so I highly recommend. And that's where I came into contact with Bhakti Yoga, which is the yoga of devotion, loving commitment to something higher than yourself. A lot of people in the West are mostly just familiar with Hatha Yoga, which is the poses. There are many different types of yoga, and Bhakti Yoga is one of them. There's Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and it goes on and on. There are many different ways to achieve a union, which is what yoga stands for, with something beyond yourself. So this was my very first exposure. And I have been hooked on it ever since. So this system of yoga is speculated to have originated about 10,000 years ago. So it's very old, and it's just developed more and more over the years. But in Mohenjo-Daro, they have evidence of early forms of yoga, so it's quite old. And bringing that into my life has enhanced my well-being, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And then through my years of studying yoga, I also stumbled upon another great Eastern tradition, which is Taoism. So I'd like to show you a little clip, a TED Talk about Tao before I speak further.
You might have seen this symbol before, whether it's as a temporary tattoo or in a Chinese temple. It's called the yin-yang symbol. It comes from Taoism, a religion born in China, and it has far more meaning than you probably realize. The yin is the dark swirl, and the yang is the light one. And each side has a dot of the opposite color, which gives a clue to the meaning of yin and yang. Everything contains the seed of its opposite. Darth Vader has the seed of goodness, and Luke has the potential to follow his father to the dark side. Like Luke and his father, yin and yang are not total opposites. They are relative to each other. Taoists believe that the universe is made up of energies, vibrations, and matter, which behave differently in different contexts. Something can be yin or yang depending on, depending on lots of things. So while wheat that's growing is yang, when it's being reaped, it's yin. A wave's crest is yang, and the trough is yin. Villages on the sunny side of a valley in China have names like Luoyang or Xiyang. But on the shady side, for example, of the Yangtze River Valley, there's Jiangyin. The brake is yin to the gas pedal's yang. An eggshell is yang, the egg inside is yin. You think you're getting it? Yang is harder, stronger, brighter, and faster. But one can turn into the other, or are two sides of the same coin. The sunbeams are yang in comparison to the shadows. The pitch is yang, the catch is yin. The yang starts an action and the yin receives it, completes it. Yin is the inside space of a cup. It wouldn't be a cup without it. Yang is the cup. The coffee's heat, however, is yang, and its blackness is yin. Yang goes berserk sometimes, but there's some very powerful yins too, if they don't quite go berserk. Yin is the darker swirl, the female, but there's a white dot in it. And yang is the lighter, the male, but it has a black dot. Water flowing calmly in a river is yin, but when it goes over the waterfall, it's very yang. Toothpicks are yin compared with a telephone pole. The back of a person is more yang than the front. The top of the person is the yang. Taoism teaches that there is a power in the universe. It's higher, deeper, and truer than any other force. They call it the Tao. It means the way. Like the Force in Star Wars, the Tao has two sides. Unlike other religions where the higher power is all good and perhaps has an all evil rival, Taoism teaches that we need to learn from both yin and yang. And unlike religions with gods that are personal, the higher power in Taoism is not. Taoists believe that living in harmony with the way, a person will not have to fight against the universe's natural flow. So, for example, listen more, argue less. Be ready to back up or undo something, and you will make even faster progress. Don't worry about being the best. Be who you are. Live simply. Complications take you away from the Tao. The wise person is flexible, Taoists say. Learning to use the Tao is what Taoism is all about. And that's why you should know your yin from your yang.
I love TED Talks. So the purpose of both yoga and Taoist body movements like Tai Chi and Qigong is to unite the opposites in the body and in the mental space into a state of perfect balance in our body's energy field. Yes. So as you can see, balance in nature, balance in all things. Everything's cyclical. So we have spring, summer, winter, spring, summer, fall, winter. It goes over and over again. There you go. The yoga tradition calls this force of vital life energy prana, and the Taoists call it qi. And both are derived from the air that we breathe, the food we eat, and the manner in which we harness this power. Prana or qi is the invisible force that animates all things. And if you spend any amount of time studying these two philosophies of prana and qi, you can easily see where George Lucas got his inspiration for the Force in Star Wars. Prana or qi is an energetic vibration flowing through our bodies. It transforms, transports, and supports. When this energy is moving, circulating and abundant, we feel at ease, in the flow, and full of energy. When prana or qi is in disharmony, illness takes hold. When it's stagnant, it's like a bad traffic jam in the body. When it is deficient, we feel burned out. We feel weak and lack the energy to use our voices. So through food, breath, and movement, the lay goal of yoga and Taoist movement is to achieve optimal health. But the spiritual goal is to create a kind of inner alchemy. So to achieve yoga or union, one has to be in a constant state of balance. There is no yoga without balance. Most of us in the West are more familiar with the form of hatha yoga, which is the poses or asanas as they're called. And each of the asanas are designed to help the yogi master the body along with the mind to create inner peace and union. It's what the yogis call the unified field, which is the source of all solutions. Cutting through the noise of the mind and current affairs, we can come to solutions in an almost effortless way. This is the unification of opposites, union, yoga. Shiva, the greatest yogi, is identified with pure unmanifest consciousness. Shiva is the inactive divine potential of pure consciousness, and Shakti is the female counterpart. She's the life giver. She is the all creation, the mother of the universe. Shakti is the vital energy that gives power to the forming of life, and Shiva is the consciousness. And they exist in an internal embrace, unable to exist without the other. So there is no Shiva without Shakti. No life without the in-breath and the out-breath. Yin balanced by yang. So essentially, balance is the key. It's the key to everything. If you look upward, everyone, look up right now. You'll notice that there are two pillars of wood balancing the very roof over our heads. Yin and yang. Balance is Tao, it's the way. Balance is sustainable. Balance is the only way to move forward. When chaos and order are in balance, we have one foot in the yin and the yang, and in that place we're secure, but challenged enough to be aware and developing. We play not just to win, but to become better players for all of the games in the future. So, with that, I sometimes speculate that the larger problems of the world are a mere reflection of things going on at the individual internal level. The outside reflects the inside. Inside our very own heads, for example, we have two hemispheres. We have a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere. And the meeting point is the pineal and the pituitary glands right here in the forehead. It's what the yogis call the third eye. And when the two hemispheres stop communicating, the body shuts down. It becomes stressed, diseased. Too much yang and the yin will suffer, and vice versa. Extremes cause opposite extremes. Justice Ginsburg said that the true symbol of the United States is not the bald eagle, but a pendulum. And when the pendulum swings too far in one direction, it will go back. So have faith in that. So some yogis find union by practicing non-attachment. They become renunciates. But a bodhisattva is a being who has achieved enlightenment and continues to be in the world without becoming entangled by the world. And they do this by treating all beings with love and compassion, but also by seeing the trials of life as nothing more than ripples on the pool of time. So, I am not a bodhisattva, or even a very good yogi for that matter, because I get entangled by the world all the time, as we all do. But yoga and meditation have helped me to notice when I'm getting knocked off my center, and how to take steps to correct it by slowing down and closing my eyes and going inside. So I'd like to try a small little exercise with all of you. So go ahead and sit up tall. There. Oh, wow. Okay, so feel your heart over your hips. And feel your head over your heart. And feel your spine stretching up to the ceiling. And take a big inhale all the way down into the very pit of your stomach, and exhale. And let's do that together just a few times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And notice how different your body feels just when you bring a little bit of awareness and presence to your breathing. Changes the way you feel. So, in my own life, I've experienced a lot of darkness. I've struggled with depression. I've had moments of great confusion and doubt because I'm human. We all go through this, especially when we get entangled by the world. But through yoga and Qigong, I have achieved glimpses of transcendence, stillness in chaos, healing within myself, the slowing down of time to this present moment, which is all there ever is. In our shared mirror of reality, there is always the pendulum of imbalance, but it is part of the yin and the yang, activity and calm, outer life and inner life. As we need action, we also need replenishment so that we may serve others from a place of abundance. So when you observe thoughts and a bad or negative thought arises, just think, cancel that. There are plenty of other things to focus on. What you focus on expands. What you focus on will continue to present itself in your life. And you have the choice of where you place your focus. When you have the choice of how you perceive your current situation, you can focus on the things that make you feel bad, or you can shift your focus towards gratitude. Think about what you already have that you can be grateful for all the people and the pets in your life who love you and support you, and shift your attitude towards gratitude, and you'll see all of the blessings that are in your life that may have been hiding in plain sight. You don't need advanced techniques in turning yourself into a human pretzel to do this. Spend time in the places you want to be, internally and externally. These are some of my very first yogi friends. I'm not sure that was supposed to be in this slide, but there they are. Here we go. So come to your breath. Notice your in-breath and your out-breath. Correct through self-care. It doesn't have to be meditation or yoga. You could spend time in nature, garden, hike, take an art class, journal, listen more. Then act from a place of deep contemplation and compassion. Don't just react without thinking, without centering. Act wisely and start small with little things you can change about yourself every day. Then move out to your family and then your community. Work to make the world a better place and start with yourself. So I'd like to just take a moment to give thanks and honor all of my spiritual teachers for the great blessings that they have bestowed upon me. This was my very first guru. This is Charadas. This is Himalaya. She's fantastic. This is Camilla. This is Guru Jagat. This is my dance guru, Kalina Shakti. This is Sadhguru, and I'm going to leave you with one of his quotes. One of my favorite things that he says over and over again is that if you and I are fixed, the world will be fine. So I love that. And this gentleman needs no introduction. He's one of the greatest karma yogis ever, Mahatma Gandhi. So these spiritual teachers have taught me to trust that the universe is always looking for balance. We can't always see to the end of the road, but that doesn't mean that it stops from our vantage point. To all light there is dark, and to all dark there is light. Trust is knowing that there is no separation between the two, ever. That is yoga. That is Tao. The tree of enlightenment grows within us. So may we all trust in the way in all of our endeavors moving forward, and treat all beings with compassion, starting with ourselves. As Mahatma Gandhi, a truly great soul, once said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." The divine light in me honors the divine lights in you. Namaste.